On to debate number 2. It's an image that has shocked devotees across the world. Visuals of policemen and government officials entering the Kanaga Sabai of the Chidambaram temple in Tamil Nadu. The outcome of this: 11 Dikshitars, the priests at Lord Nataraj temple in Chidambaram, have been booked for preventing officials of the HRCE, or the Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowment Department, from doing their duty. What led to the standoff was an order by the temple body to restrict access for devotees to the Kanaga Sabai, which is like a sacred stage, for 4 days from June 24 to 27. Now, temple authorities say that this was done in view of the Ani Thirumanjanam, an annual temple festival which sees massive crowds. During this festival, Lord Nataraja is decked with valuable jewels, which also leads to security apprehensions. A board was put up at the temple announcing that the devotees will not be allowed to get atop the sacred stage. It was this board that became the flashpoint between priests and the HR&CE department. Now, 2 days ago, officials along with police removed this board amidst stiff resistance from the Dikshitars and their supporters. While temple priests have alleged that this is a desecration of the temple premises, the government says that they were acting to protect the rights of devotees to get darshan in the Kanaga Sabai, and the 11 Dikshitars or priests have been booked for obstructing this process.
சட்டப்படி பக்தர்கள் சுதந்திரமாக இறை வழிபாட்டிற்கு அனைத்து உதவிகளையும் இந்து சமய அறநிலைத்துறையும் அரசும் செய்யும். இதில் யார் பெரியவர்கள் என்பது பிரச்சனை அல்ல. இறை என்பவர்களுக்கு தேவையான தெய்வத்தை வழிபடுவதற்குண்டான அனைத்து ஏற்பாடுகளையும் செய்து தருவதுதான் எங்களுடைய நோக்கம்.
See, this is unwanted, unwarranted, and it is unconstitutional. What the government has done is definitely not right. The government is doing a panic reaction, vendetta politics strongly. Under the government, in order to to take over HR&C, take over the temple, they are trying to threaten the Dikshitars and also the devotees and create a panic among the devotees.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let's take this across, in fact, to our guest joining us. We have with us YG Madhuvanti, who is a member of the Tamil Nadu BJP. We have T.R. Ramesh, president of the Temple Worshipper Society. A. Sarvanan is spokesperson of the DMK. Rahul Ishwar is an activist joining us. We also have with us Dr. Suman C. Raman, political analyst. Let me start, in fact, with Mr. T.R. Ramesh, president of the Temple Worshipper Society. Mr. Ramesh, the action by the HR&CE department, why do you think, as a temple worshipper and president of the Temple Worshipper Society, that it was an overreach?
An overreach. It is without jurisdiction, and it is in violation of the law laid down by Honorable Supreme Court regarding Chidambaram temple. The temple belongs to the religious denomination of the Dikshitars, and they've been administering this temple as recognized by the Honorable Supreme Court for centuries. In fact, the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court says their right to administer the temple is a right in rem. That means they have the right against the entire world. But they are not abusing their right. This is a festival time, and the Kanaga Sabha is a holy place where pujas take place. 6 times, major pujas, 6 times a day. So there has to be restrictions. Honorable Supreme Court's constitutional bench in Shirur said there cannot be open access to all spaces in the temples. So this is being done as per practice, as before, by the Dikshitars. But HR&C is just waiting for 2 reasons. One is they want to unleash violence on this micro community of Brahmins who have been in one place for 2,000 years. Second, the government is at a receiving end because of their minister has been arrested by ED, and he is avoiding custody at all costs, even by undergoing bypass surgery, etc.
Okay.
So the whole Tamil Nadu is seized of the problem. They want a diversion. The government wants a diversion by creating.
You're saying the government is attempting to create a diversion. The question is this: if the temple is protected by a Supreme Court verdict, if this is indeed an HR&CE overreach, Mr. Sarvanan, the question that is being asked is that if there is this verdict that protects the temple and its authorities, then isn't this clearly an overreach?
Yeah. See, let us make one thing very clear. This is a public temple. The Podu Dikshitars are akin to trustees. They may have the right to administer the temple, they have the right to manage the religious ways. Beyond that, they are accountable for the income. The Supreme Court has made it very, very clear that they cannot be compared with the role of the Madhadhipatis of a Math, where they have complete control over income of the property. This is not a temple owned by the Dikshitars. This is a temple built by the Chola kings. They have been brought in to maintain, to do pujas and maintain the temple. That's it, maintain. And this is a security issue. Who are these people? Do they have expertise in managing the crowd? Do they have expertise in security situations?
Sir, if they are managing the temple, they don't have a right to control the crowd.
So what should they have done?
In areas where crowding might be there, you don't think they have the right to manage crowds? If they are managing the temple in the best interest of the temple,
they don't have the wherewithal.
Special days, they have no right to do that according to you?
Yes. They don't have the wherewithal, they don't have the expertise.
Okay. Okay.
That is what we are saying. And the experts are the state government.
Okay.
If something happens, let me put it this way.
Madhuvanti,
if something happens inside the temple,
would you like to respond to Mr. Sarvanan? Okay, you made your point, Mr. Sarvanan. Let's get a response. You made an important point. Let's get to the response. You say they don't have the right to do that. Let's hear the other side.
Yes, I just want to ask.
So the other panelists, I'm coming to you, please. Mr. Sarvanan, you made 2 points. Let others also speak, please. I'm coming to you, Mr. Sarvanan. Please be a little patient.
I am yet to. There is one more point, 10 seconds.
I'll come to you, sir. Please be a little patient. This is not the last I'm coming to you. Let others come in also. Yes.
Yes, okay.
Vaji Madhuvanti.
I said okay.
Yes, Madhavdas ji, I just want to clarify. He says that they don't have the wherewithal to maintain a temple and this is a security issue. Isn't that the only reason why the Dikshitars actually said for the 4 days, please don't climb up onto the Kanaka Sabai and pray to the Lord right there, because a lot of jewels are going to be bedecked on the Lord and they want to protect those jewels and maintain the security in the temple, and they've been doing it for centuries. Are you telling me that a government that has just come into power for 2 years is going to be able to handle what the Dikshitars have been doing for centuries and generations in a temple? And this is not a temple that belongs to HRNCA, and that is the problem. Like Mr. T.R. Ramesh very rightly said, that this is a temple that is not under the control of the HRNCA, which is why they are trying these tactics to take over the temple. This is very clear. No devotee is worried. No devotee was affected. Nobody in the public had a problem. Ani Tirmanjanam has been happening for Natarajar for several years now, several centuries now. This is nothing new. I do not understand from where the safety and security of the public and the security of the temple and the wherewithal of protecting the temple and its guarding the temple has suddenly come up in the minds of DMK out of the blue. When even when Mr. Kalingar Karunanidhi was chief minister, the temple had Ani Tirmanjanam. Nobody bothered at that point in time. Why this sudden affinity towards Chidambaram temple alone, sir?
Mr. Sarvanan, it's not under the HRC. It's clearly a sign of overreach. Why this sudden affinity towards this temple? Please explain.
It is the duty of the state government to maintain law and order.
Even in places where you don't have jurisdiction.
There may be Podu Dikshitars. That is, come on. They will discriminate against an SC and ST. You think that they have the right to do that?
What
Did the Supreme Court ask them to do that? Did the Supreme Court say, oh, okay, go ahead and have child marriage? Did the Supreme Court say that? Did they not indulge in child marriage?
Sarvanan,
did they not discriminate against the SC women?
And a case against the I'm asking you a simple question. Where is the proof of caste discrimination?
Put upon against them?
Where is the proof of caste discrimination? Was it not a general instruction for all citizens? Did they say that only certain caste people will go there?
There is an FIR. There is an FIR. There is an FIR against these Dikshitars for insulting an SC/ST. There were videos, February 2022. Videos were there in public domain.
You are talking about February 2022. We are talking about what happened just now. Just now, can you say that this order or this board that is put up was on the basis of caste discrimination?
Yes.
Because, you know, what will happen is now if I go to the BJP spokesperson, she'll say DMK leaders have been accused of caste discrimination. I do not want to reduce this. It's a very important issue. See, caste discrimination in India, untouchability, these are undoubtedly social evils in India. I will mince no words in admitting that today. But is this about
Yes.
that? Is this about that is the question. And I want to bring in Suman
Absolutely.
Siraman, because Suman Siraman,
Yes, it
you're
is
someone
about
who's
that.
very knowledgeable.
It is
One
about
second,
that.
Mr. Sarvan, now please,
Yeah,
let others
it
come in
is
now.
this.
I want to
Let me
bring in
finish
Suman Siraman on a simple
Let me
point.
finish
Suman
this.
Siraman,
No, you asked
the
me
point
a
that I'm
question.
making
You
over
made
here
an
is this.
insinuation. I
We
will
as a
finish.
channel have campaigned for, there are individuals, there are religious leaders, etc., who have campaigned for freeing temples up from governmental control. From what has been discussed over here, and you're a resident of Chennai, you would have been following this in the news there very closely. Do you not think this is a fit case for freeing up temples? Because here is a case which is not under the HRC, a temple, where the HRC officials barge in and say that we are only promoting equality, we require to intervene. Suman Siraman.
Madhav, look, there are this particular case is quite a complex issue. One, clearly, the Dikshitars could adopt a more conciliatory tone there, and of course, they could go to court more often against these diktats by the government. The problem is the presence of a large number, or at least a few videos which keep coming out, which show brawls and which show, people running helter-skelter, and this sort of plays into the hands of the government. You must remember that, this particular DMK government, unlike its predecessor AIA-DMK government, is very, keen on sort of taking over more temples and trying to, demonstrate the clout that they have over the gods, as it were. So I think that, there is a space for reconciliation.
Okay.
And there is a space for the government to back off. Look, if the Dikshitars say that only certain communities can worship and certain communities cannot, then there is absolutely no argument that they are in the wrong, right? That's a no-brainer. But has that happened is something that the government has not established so far.
Yes.
As far as the child marriages are concerned, there has been one video which has come out which shows apparently shows a child being married. Now, who that child was, they filed an FIR.
And certainly,
as the prosecution
there is no question of condoning any such act which is illegal. There is no question of it. There is no question of it, Suman Siraman. But be that as it may, simple question, those who are responsible for that act, if it is proven, let it go to a court of law, let action be taken. Nobody is denying that at all. But Rahul Ishwar, is this according to you, and you've been associated with, this Free the Temple movement, particularly in the state of Kerala, and do you think what is transpiring now in Chidambaram, once again, brings out the urgent need for the lack of government control for temples to be administering themselves, as happens in other religions?
Madhavji, just 3 points. One, casteism is unpardonable. Nobody can even think of justifying it. If any negative or illegal things happen, please go to police, please go to court. Nobody is against it. But here, let me be very honest and let me not mince the words. What is happening is temple invasion. The purposeful, huge government machinery on one side and the poor sadhu Dikshitar on the other side. Devotees from time immemorial have always regarded deity, Dikshitar and devotees as an integral part of a spiritual ecosystem. What is happening is not even an indirect, not even a disguised attempt, an open attempt to take over the temple, going against the very verdict Supreme Court gave on 2014. And Kanagasabha and those details are mere bahana. These are mere excuses. They will find one other excuse. They will find one or the other excuse to invade the temple. So please, beyond, just like our Christian brothers have right over their church and Muslim brothers have right over their mosque, we Hindus need to have right over our temples, and it is guaranteed under Article 25 and 26. Hindus over India need to wake up to the situation in Tamil Nadu and especially this temple where anti-Brahmin, anti-Hindu and anti-spiritual attitudes are being given, and all these excuses are flimsy excuses. Today or tomorrow they will find another excuse. So the core issue here is who can run the temple. And please, Sharavananji, I really respect, I have been in many debates. Sharavananji, please remember, this is not public temple. This is Nadaraja's temple open to public. There is nothing called public temple or public church or public mosque. All these worshipping places are open to people. And one more thing, Supreme Court in many verdicts have made it clear. Temples are not public places. Temples are places of deity which is open to public. There is a nuanced difference between this. So government has very little control, or government should have very little control over this.
Okay. Well, be that as it may, what he was referring to perhaps is the temples that are under the HRNC. I'll give him that. But yes, certainly there are a lot of sensitivities involved. Mr. Saravanan, I'm completely out of time. Sorry. Many hands going up, including Suman Siraman. I'm not able to accommodate any more comments. I'd like to thank Suman Siraman, A. Saravanan, T.R. Ramesh, Rahul Ishwar, and YG Madhuvanti for joining us. Perhaps it's a time for tempers to be calmed down. Perhaps all sides need to take a less aggressive approach. But the question is certainly open. The question that we've been asking for years here at Times Now, is it perhaps time to free the temples? Thanks so much for joining us.